What it do, what it is, yo, it's your boy TEJ reporting live right from the middle. It's SmartCredit Studios, and I'm with Sherby Derby, 5,000 to the left, and my man, Harpreet Moore, happy. Today, I just realized something. I call a client, I look at the report different than you do. I look at it different than you do. There's things that I want that I can't do, and there's things that you know how to do that nobody ever told me.
You didn't listen.
Or I did. Most likely I didn't listen and watch the orientation
I feel like
video.
we went over it together and we still do it differently.
Because, like, a lot of my clients, they need to see what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's always best to envision that.
Sometimes it's good doing a Zoom call. Sometimes I send them screenshots. Most of the time I never do a Zoom call, but, like, just showing them the report helps them understand and they get more value of the words I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But
It's always best to have them open it up so we could both look at it together. How does that usually go for you?
well, on the phone, sometimes my clients are able to follow along pretty good. Sometimes they're driving, so I got to send them screenshots. But then I'm like, am I even utilizing the right tool to look at it? How can I have them efficiently look at the report
You don't know.
if I don't know how to do it, right? And it's different too, because what if we talk to the same guy and I have him navigate looking through the report differently than you do? Because, well, let's ask this, like, how do you look at the report? Do you just go filters, this, that, or what do you like doing?
Before you even get into that, it's like, when's the last time you saw your credit report? Like, if you weren't in the industry,
Yeah.
like, people don't just look at the credit report.
Yeah.
They just see the score, whether that be like on a banking app or whatever third-party application they download, and like, oh, that's my score. People don't know their actual. They don't know what's all on their credit, right? So it's like the only time that people really look at their actual profile is when they're getting a mortgage or trying to get a mortgage, because the lender has to purchase that 3B report, and then they're obligated to give them that credit report. So, right, like, I think it just comes to, one, you have to make the consumer understand what is going on the report, what information lives on the report, and then educate them line by line. You know, some people might want to see it in a different perspective than other people, but it's all about showing them what's on the report.
Yeah.
Like, before you ever, like, saw a credit report, like, did you know what was on there?
Nah, I don't know how to look at it.
Or, like, did you just think it was just, like, numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what most clients think, right? It's just, oh, I got a good number. That's good. Like,
Maybe because people be like, I have a 700.
Yeah.
They think I'm good, but they go apply somewhere, and then they get denied.
they don't even know it's on the
But
report.
they don't know that they have a couple of collection accounts, and they might be at a 700, right? Because they have a little bit more positive accounts. So I think first it's like just how are you going to educate the client? And then with SmartCredit, obviously you have multiple ways to view it.
Right.
You can either do classic or you can do the smart view, right? So then you have filters and all that. But one, people don't even know that their date of birth is on there.
Yeah.
They don't know what old addresses are on there.
Their
or anything.
employers,
So it's
nothing.
like, well, I think the first thing is the personal information. Like, let them know what's on there. For me, like, for personal information, depending on like how the conversation is going, I always like to do either the smart view or the classic, just to kind of show them that, and then I always just verify, like, hey, like, is this a previous address that you had?
Right.
And if they say yes or no, then continue from there. Then employers and the date of birth, make sure that the year matches up and everything too. So I think that personal information part is very important, and it is allowing you to set the tone for the rest of the conversation, because they're like, oh wow, I didn't even know that. You know what I think I find funny though? It's like when couples come in, all right? So they're like a couple years together or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, so is this the current address? They're like, yeah. And then we go to view previous addresses, and then I was like, what about this like random address? Like, oh yeah, I was my old girl's house, and it's just like so awkward, because it's just like, it's like, wow, I didn't know that was on there.
Yeah, like, why is that record official?
Yeah, so I always find that funny. Like, I had a couple that came in, and then, like, obviously, like, we had the report on the screen, and then, like, that same thing happened, and it's just, like, an awkward moment.
Do you let them, like, do you just go through it, but like, hey, these are these addresses, or do you let them know, like, hey, there might be previous addresses you applied with on the file? Like,
No, I just go, like, hey, like, is this your current address? Yes. Okay, what about, like, first I'll go, like, on Experian, like, what about this one? Did you ever live with this address? And they're like, yes. Oh, no, that's my mom's house.
Yeah.
So usually what that means is they applied for some type of credit, or whatever it may be. They put that address down on some files that ended up generating on the credit report. So that's what that usually means. Same thing with Equifax. And if they're like, no, I've never lived there, And then I think when you have very common names, it's very easy to like get a house number or a very like similar street name mixed up on the file. So I mean, I just go like that if they ever lived there.
Well, how about when you start getting down and dirty, right? Like score, personal information, pretty simple. We can lead that conversation however. But like, do you go off of them, be like, oh, I think I have this, this, and that, and try to jump and look for that account? Or do you go, all right, these are the open accounts, these are the negatives? Because the way I typically do it, I just click the filters and go, hey, this is what's hurting you.
No, because what I like to do is I like to let people know if they're doing something okay already.
Right.
So if you come in, like I'm doing your consultation, I'm like, okay, cool. So we go personal information. I normally do this off of SmartView, and then I'll just go down because SmartView is just a little bit more visual for people to see. So I'll go SmartView, and then if they have an account from American Express or whatever, $2,000 limit, and then it's at $1,800. So I'll just tell them, hey, you see this account right here? It's at 80% limit. So your payments are good on this account. I just need you to work on bringing this balance down. Because one of the first things that I always tell people is like, look, let me look at the report and see if there's even anything that I can do or we can do to help you.
Right.
Because maybe half the time it's only maybe on you.
Yeah.
Like maybe you just have to learn how to strategically pay your payments on time. Or, this is a reporting date. Pay it by this, so then that way on the next report it reflects, or just bring your balances down. So that's what I start off with is like, what are they doing good already?
Right.
So I don't start with the bad. I pretty much let them know, hey, you're doing this good. And then we start scrolling down the report, and then it's like that negative pops up, and this, and then charge off, and then collection.
Right. Yeah, because sometimes you start with there's nothing good, so you already have the bad accounts, right? So
I mean, it's like people say you got to butter them up.
yeah.
So it's
You
like,
could
I mean, I personally feel like if I call for a consultation somewhere and they start off right away with, this is what you're doing wrong. It's like, okay, so what am I doing right? Like, you're going to make me feel like a failure?
I think most doctors say, hey, like this lab is good.
Right.
And this one's great too. But your blood sugar is bad. Does like going through the report with them, like, do you find it better to show them the accounts that are negative by using a filter? Or are you just be like, hey, like, where should we, like, this is what's wrong with you?
I just go account.
Not with you, but you know what I mean?
I just go account by account.
Account by account, okay.
Yeah.
Like I go account by account, and then if I see an account where maybe it says like negative account, just because maybe utilization, I always double check to see if maybe there's like a late 30-day or something like that. So I go to view all details, which populates that classic 3B look.
Good.
Yeah, because I want to see like line by line, okay, what's going on with this account, especially for the ones where they paid it like in a settlement. So I want to make sure that that's reporting,
how it's
and be like, hey, you know what? Like I know you paid on this account and you told me. So it looks like on here they're not reporting it. Like the smart view isn't going to show you the detail. So you need to go through that classic 3B look to be able to let them know this isn't reporting paid. It's just showing as a complete charge off. So this is something that we need to work on updating and getting corrected.
Do you ever miss anything on the report? Because I feel like there's times that for some reason I just don't see that account that was negative. A month later we're sending disputes. They're like, hey, why is this one being disputed? And then I'll check with the team. They're like, oh, this one had a late. What am I doing wrong that makes it like I missed that thing?
I mean, me personally, I think it's the filters.
Yeah, it has to be the filters. I mean, sometimes there is like you have to open each account to make sure, because sometimes they won't report like two negatives. Yeah, and then so just in case, because it'll be like
because the thing, it might be a
negatives.
closed account that had a
Yeah.
prior late payment. So
Very
yes,
correct.
it's still negative, but it's not drastically affecting the score, so it won't show on the
Exactly.
smart view.
Oh.
Yeah, that could be it.
Because I always only do the filter.
Right.
And then I like
And
mess
that's not
up.
gonna
And,
show you that. Yeah.
Like what I do is like I'll have clients like if they're on their phone, they pulled it up on their phone. I'm like, okay, I need you to go here, and then I literally guide them, and I'm like, this is where I'm at. Do you see where I'm at? They're like, yes. Then from there we go line by line by line by line, because every account has a story.
yeah.
I don't know, it's just every account has a story.
Yeah.
Like it's never your fault.
You guys want to know
Especially
thing?
certain accounts.
There's another thing I struggle with sometimes. A lot of my guys come with like 90 inquiries, right? 15 open accounts, 90 inquiries. And then, hey, can you remove these inquiries? Immediately I want to just say yeah, but then I go through each and every single one, go right
see
back
which
up, and I'm
ones.
like, dude, like we could only do 37 of them. You know what I mean? Like which ones that qualify. Sometimes I give up halfway when I see so many inquiries. And that's why when I was like, oh man, like how do I do this more efficiently? Sometimes I'll just like, put it in our portal to like picks them up. Is there another way we could figure that out faster?
Well, actually, SmartCredit is going to be releasing the Ultra 4K report.
That's a good segue. Yeah. What's that? What the hell's that?
I thought you were going to pick it up from there.
Well, the Ultra K report. No, from what I'm hearing, this is going to be great for exactly what I need because it's going to like link, hey, this inquiry is with open accounts. So it's going to save me, if it's a minute or even 5 minutes counting through a bunch of inquiries.
You're going to be able to provide more information that the client actually needs and just be a little bit more useful. Because like one of the examples I always give you guys, right? It's like if somebody has a Capital One account, they applied for it even though it was a year ago. They applied again for Capital One. They got denied for whatever reason. So now you have 6 inquiries because Capital One pulls from all 3 bureaus.
Yeah.
So you don't want to dispute even those new accounts because they're tied to that open account. Yes, you have a possibility of getting them removed, but you also run a little bit of risk of getting that entire account closed out. So that's something that you really don't want to put that client in a predicament where now they're losing the age from that account or whatever it may be. So not every inquiry can be removed. It has to be an inquiry that's not tied to an open account.
That's going to be very helpful for me as well in a selling aspect, but then the client's going to be able to understand it too.
They're going to be able to
save
visually
time,
see.
and then on top of that, you could actually
Show them.
Yeah, accurately what's going on, and this is the ones that we could actually delete.
It's kind of like those flow charts you like making, This connects to that there. It'll be easier for them to realize and see that.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm like kind of worried about at times is like I went from looking at a classic view and then only relied on the filters, and then I'm like, there's gonna be a new thing. Like I want to embrace the change, but like, what do you like? You say you like using classic view. What do you think? Like, how are you gonna adapt to utilizing this new one?
I mean, I don't think it's about adapting to just using the new one. I think it's about using all the tools that are provided for it. Like, I'm not going to sit there and guess how much they need to pay off. Like, one thing that I tell clients is if we go through the report, they have high utilization. I'll be like, okay, so now you're going to go left. Most of the time they're mobile. So go left-hand side, go to scores, and then ScoreBoost. And then, like, let me know once you see a slider on there. Okay, I see it. All right, so how much money do you have to pay off right now on cards? I'm like, you know what? I think I have like 3,000. Okay, so let's slide this over. We can get it as close as possible to the 3,000. And I'm like, look, this is going to be where your money is best spent on, essentially. Right, so that's how I use that tool. And then I'm still going to view reports the same way. But then once I go into like the inquiries, I'm not going to go like, normally I'll just be like, hey, you know what? So you have 85 inquiries. The ones that are not tied to an open account, we'll work on removing those. But now I'm going to be like, look, you have 85 inquiries. 20 of them are linked to open accounts. Those are going to be left untouched. Right. The other ones that are not linked to an open account, those we can work on removing.
That's good because it gives them a little bit more reality and a realistic, like, oh, this is exactly what they're going to work on rather than just, the ones that are not attached.
Instead of not like in little
So estimate. I think it's taking one thing from every single report because the Smart View report, if you go to the account, right, it shows the account and then it'll show you, oh, this is at 80% utilization or this is at 110 utilization. But if you're on Classic, it's too much math to do on the spot. Yeah. So you might as well just take advantage of the tools. Right. So it's not about adapting to that specific report. It's about taking something from every different report and tool that's on there to actually educate the consumer and let them know the value that you're providing on the consultation.
I think like we all take advantage of different tools, but which one I really like doing a lot that I've had feedback from my clients? It's the alert, like the money alert tool or whatever. Like when hey, this is the best paid out day, this is this. Emails are automatic, and now I set it text for them as well. So I let them know, like, hey, dude, like you're going to get messages exactly for your emails because you never look at your email. But now they get, hey, this is the best pay down day as a text message. Exactly. So that's one thing I did a lot, and I've seen my clients start reducing the utilization more because now they see their text message, and a lot of my guys don't check their emails. So.
Yeah, that's most of them.
I mean, okay, I don't check my emails either, but like I do look at my texts.
That's irrelevant.
I don't.
But I mean, it's just about utilizing the tools to the consumer for the consumer and letting them know, like, this is how you can actually go through it.
Exactly. On top of that, like, try to remind them that, hey, you could use this on your own, like, if you ever are thinking about paying more off, you know what I mean? So you have a better idea of how much you need to pay off.
Yeah, like the score, that's one of my favorite things, though. Yeah. Is just letting them know how much can you realistically pay off in the next month. And if you can't, then that's fine, but at least now you know where to track it and exactly being able to keep on track.
I just had this idea right now because I'm like, I have so many leads I never got to close that I tell them to stay on their smart credit. Sometimes it's always like, oh, when should I hit him back up? He told me 2 months. But now that there is going to be an actual new tool that they could utilize, we can kind of retarget them. Like, hey, man, like, we have this new thing. It's going to be a little more prettier for you to, like, understand and visualize things. Like, and you can spark up that conversation again. When there's a new tool, like, I feel like there's always time for outreach again.
Well, I mean, you still could always do it even without the new tool, because what's one of the reasons why people have bad credit?
They don't manage their money?
Manage
You know
and
what
miss payments.
Yeah.
Like, a collection only turns into a collection because somebody missed their
Forgot to pay.
payments.
Yeah.
Right? And then from there, it's like a charge off. It was like, oh, well, I forgot to pay it because I
Exactly.
didn't have enough money or I didn't know when to pay it. Right? So, yeah, maybe a lead came in. Maybe they're not a credit repair client.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that everybody has to be a credit repair client when somebody can just be a credit coaching, credit education client. Like,
That's true. Yeah.
you're just walking them through, hey, look, if you want a more personalized, more like guidance of how to manage this thing called credit that nobody taught us about. Like, nobody taught it in high school, nobody taught it in college.
Mm.
Like, you just kind of throw it out to the real world and, like, here you go, figure this thing out. Like, now you have SmartCredit as, hey, look, this is this tool. Like, I remember I came to, like, one of the workshops back in June, and it was actually Erica. Erica, she was talking about she has, like, a babysitting program. And this babysitting program is literally just SmartCredit. And she's calling her clients, you know, keeping on top of them, and then just, hey, are you paying down your credit cards? Are you making your payments on time? You know, like, do you have your $1 million identity theft insurance on? Do you have the privacy master where you're cleaning up your personal information from
Yeah.
websites? Like, SmartCredit in itself is a service to be able to help clients be educated and know how credit works.
That's true. I think I need to start utilizing. I mean, I utilize it a lot, but I feel like there's too many tools in the arsenal that I leave untouched.
Oh, I mean, because the thing is, everybody only thinks that it's just a tool for credit repair clients.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can do a whole business with just using SmartCredit as your main tool, and then just teaching people how to
Manage and
like how to
handle
educate them
it,
on
yeah.
it.
Educate them, and then so they can educate themselves and not make these mistakes in the future, right?
Because I mean, I always think like, yes, a lead comes in. I don't really think that everybody that comes in is going to be a credit repair client.
Yeah.
What if it's just a debt management client
Right.
where
That's true.
they just need to
Instead
learn
of
how
letting
to
them go, like we could just keep them on and be like, hey, I'll check in on you every few months. And
like, hey, how are you doing?
One
You know?
thing that I do, I tell the clients, I'm like, hey man, stay on Smart Credit, and then like if you can't start today, like down the road, since you're already with our partner link with Smart Credit, I'll help you out with a little bit of a discount or something.
right.
So it's like it gives them an incentive to keep it and utilize the tools and get used to it, and then they're a little bit more primed when they're in the program. Like, hey, have you been using all these things? Like those clients, I see a lot of success from.
Because if you really think about it before, I guess it would be maybe some clients you're able to save. I feel like that's the standardized of somebody that's going to go down a path of like bad financial
Right.
sequences, I guess you can say. So one of the options would be like, hey, can you monitor and manage this? So you're using SmartCredit as your tool. Other clients, you go debt relief.
Yeah.
Right? Because somebody doesn't just go from I'm having good credit right now straight to credit repair. There's a process that happens.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people go, I can't pay anymore. I'm just going to let everything go. And then after some time, they become a credit repair client. But they still have to learn how to manage so they don't get back there. Or if they go debt relief, pay off those accounts. And then through that debt relief program, they kind of understand a little bit more. But they still need to monitor it. Like, people need to understand what's going on.
Are you saying try to catch them? Like sometimes
Before
you
they
don't
make a
want
mistake.
them to become the credit repair client.
Right.
Have another service in your arsenal to be like, hey man, let's guide you in this way. Let's utilize these tools so you don't have to go down this path.
Because it could be avoided if you're looking at it. It's like same thing with gaining weight. Like if you're constantly tracking your meals, or at least like being somewhat conscious
Conscious.
about like what you're putting in your body,
Mhm.
stepping on the scale every week, like you're gonna have a better idea of like, you know what, maybe I should cut back on like this.
Gotcha.
So I mean, I think a lot of the credit repair clients can be avoided.
Oh,
They
yeah.
just need proper education.
Right. Yeah. If
So
you could
with-
teach them how to use the tools and make sure they stay on smart credit.
Because I mean, some people don't even know what an inquiry is.
Exactly.
Like some
True.
people are like, oh well, I mean, they just told me they're gonna run it one time.
And then
You know-
there's 20 on there.
I feel like a lot of the clients that like throw in like the education side or coaching side, I get more credit repair clients from them than from a video or an ad that I post.
Right,
Like
right.
they're like, oh, this guy like actually helped, because word of mouth is like
Yeah.
a lot stronger in your own circle.
Because there's a credit repair where you're just like, okay, yeah, I could fix it, and then be on your way after that. Or you can educate them and remind them like this is important for you to remember, and then they'll actually want to work with you because this guy took his time out and actually helped me and told me how to use SmartCredit, or even just learn about what my mistakes were and how I could fix them.
Yesterday, I had a client. She was a referral from like a solar guy, and then for her it was she didn't get approved, and then so I was like, all right, cool, send her my way. So we pulled up the report, went through it. She had good credit. She had 3 accounts that were over the 50%. So one was at about 80, one was about 70, and then another one was like about 85 or so.
Yes.
And then there was 3 accounts that were in debt relief programs, and then 1 account that was past due it had 2 late 30 days. That's not a credit repair client. That's a client that needs coaching and education on what she needs to do. She was responsible enough to say, hey, you know what? I can't afford to pay on these accounts. I'm not just going to let them go. I'm going to go to the debt relief process. So she was financially responsible to at least know that and be aware, you know what? I don't want this to like bite me in the ass back later on down the road.
That's kind of like a perfect client to put in like a coaching or educational route, because they're already a part of something that they're trying to avoid.
Right.
Repair.
And then with her, she was gonna say I think she had like 5, or she was getting tax returns, so she was gonna pay like 3,000-4,000 down. She's like, I'm gonna pay this car fully, and then on to the next one. I was like, oh, wait a minute, like let's go back to this. And then I told her, I was like, you're gonna be better if you put more money into this account. So I was like, once you get your tax return, here's that, and then here's a goodwill script and letter template. Try to get this corrected for the late payment, and then within a month you should be in a little bit better position. Right? Because who am I to say, yes, I can get it done when you can't guarantee results?
That is true.
Exactly.
You cannot guarantee results.
And then with her, she stays on, and then probably 3 weeks, give her a call. Or even when we get the email, I'll get the email and be like, hey, this client's score went up or whatever. And then just check in with her, see how she's doing, and then be like, hey, were you able to complete this?
Right.
And then at that point, it's like you're servicing so many more people without having to.
And then the client's thankful that you didn't just try to get money out the pocket, you're actually trying to coach them through something and being more educated.
You don't want to be slimy. Like, I'll help you, charge me. I mean,
there's no point
there's a point in time if you have a program for that, but like if somebody needs general help and general credit knowledge, keep them on SmartCredit, and hey, I'll check in you next month. I'll check in 2 months. We'll figure it out.
I think people would be more thankful that you're providing them an actual tool to assist them with their goals instead of making a fake promise and not fulfilling on that promise.
Yeah. That's solid. I can see clearly. Maybe like clear as 4K Ultra.
You can see ultra clear? No.
Ultra, no nicotine pouches. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Wow.
But ladies and gentlemen, that's what it is, and that's what we do. There it is. That's what it is, and that's what we do. We're going to clip it right there.